Hello guys, welcome back to 1878 Blues. Everton won, Arsenal won. Everton have got another draw on the board after the defeat against Liverpool. It's about 5 out of 6 games now we've drawn. We drew, sorry. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's try and get 1,000 subs. It'll be great just before the end of the season. But yeah, good point for Everton. Of course, Arsenal second in the league. You know, the league's done for me, so there's no part of me to... Obviously, I'll focus on my team, but, you know, you don't want your rivals winning the league. And, yeah, it's done for me anyway. So I was fully 100% Everton. Let's get a win here. And I don't think either side deserved the win. I think Arsenal probably had better the chances, but they wasn't great themselves. Obviously, a better footballing team than us, better side than us in general, and yeah, a lot of possession and whatnot, but not many clear-cut chances. Pretty poor games, to be honest, overall. But we've got something out of it, and that's a never fighting, never say die attitude. Moyes has kind of installed into this group of players. Listen, some of these games we've drew, we could have probably won. You know, we've missed a lot of big chances. But, you know, we can't not forget that this is a team that have been struggling before Moyes come in. So they aren't the greatest bunch of players. And there's a lot of these players who are probably going to be leaving come to the end of the season once we're mathematically safe, which I think pretty hard. Ipswich get beat by Wolves at home, winning one home game all season, are not going to catch up to Everton. It's just not happening. So you might as well visit the new stadium now. Just tell us who's leaving at the end of the season, because to be honest, it's just not happening. Even if we don't pick up a single point now to the end of the season, Ipswich aren't getting 15 points. They're not. Anyway, yeah, not really tales of two halves, but the first half, you know, we played decent, played all right. Also had a lot of possession. Grew into it a lot more in the end of the first half. Got their goal from Trossard. Poor goal to concede, to be honest, with miscommunication between the just got a guy and Brownthwaite. And that's what happens a lot in these games, you know, and I noticed it a few times in this game as well, where there's a chance of two players going for the ball, and it feels like no one really communicates, and the person who's got the better leverage or onto the ball a bit quicker will just take the ball, and it does feel a bit unorganised. There's no commanding going on the pitch at all times, so that mistake happened. They're just going to get headed it on to whoever broke through for Arsenal and come to Trossard, and it's a great finish. Still forced, he could have been closed down a little bit tighter or been tightly marked, because he is a good finisher, Trossard, when he gets the chance most of the time. But yeah, 1-0 down, and then second half, I missed it actually. I went in the shower because I thought it just gave me one of those games where I was like, we're just gonna lose this 1-0 or something, and it is what it is. And like I said, it's not really in it for us, so my heart's not on the line at this stage of the season for the first time in a number of years, so it's quite nice to just relax. Obviously, I still want us to win. I want to give Goodison a send-off it deserves, and yeah, I missed about 20 minutes of the second half, and all I've heard that was that we'd come out of the blocks a lot quicker, which, you know what, I thought was going to happen, because at the end of the first half, we looked a bit leggy, looked a bit like we ran out of ideas, and I just think we need a little refresh and a talking to at half time. So yeah, apparently come out the chops a lot better. The penalty's not a penalty. It's just not a penalty. You know, you see, I can understand why it got given in a way, because, you know, Lewis Skelly, I think it was holding on to Harrison for a long period of time, but I think Harrison dragged it long enough to fall into the box. He did get up right away, to be fair, but it's a tussle, really. I mean, it's soft. And you see penalties who don't get given for far worse than what we saw there, and it's just inconsistencies again. It really is embarrassing that the top officiating, the top officials in the league, in football, and you know, they get help on the pitch as well with VAR now, and they still get a lot of things wrong, and it is embarrassing. And I'll be honest, like, if I see something wrong, you know, I'd happily take it because it's for Everton and we get these things against us as well. But for football fan in general, it is killing a game. It's ruining a game. It's all you seem to talk about now after games is the officials, where you don't actually talk about what's going on the pitch. But I'm not going to talk about it much longer because that's not what I want to do. But it is embarrassing, and that's it. But yeah, got the penalty and I dispatched it. Great penalty. Apparently Raya's not very good at saving him. He kind of just jumps from 10 minutes before the penalty's taken. But yeah, great to see Ndiaye back on the score sheet. A good point for Everton, and just a shout out as well, Jordan Pickford. Some of the saves are ridiculous and he just doesn't get the credit he does because he's a bit of a loon. You know, he goes off his head, he's a bit dramatic. Obviously a lot of Liverpool fans can't seem to get over him, their hatred for him. And yeah, he's just underrated. Just because he's not as big as other goalkeepers, he gets slandered a lot for it, and I think that's a bit unfair, to be honest. And to be honest, he should get more credit because he's a smaller goalkeeper compared to the other ones in the league. But fantastic saves again. I thought he was a bit, he wasn't great against Liverpool. He looked a bit shaky, he looked a bit erratic. His old self, when he first joined us, he was like that a lot. He's matured over the years and, you know, being a lot more consistent. And I thought today he was just fantastic again. But a really good point for Everton. You know, you can't say it's not a good point. It is. Bit of an odd change to Arsenal's lineup. Kind of think, without saying it in the interviews now, they kind of know it's over. So, but you know, at the end of the day, you still need to be challenging the league. You still need to want to get high amounts of points and prove that you can compete. It looks like after that lineup they put out today, it looks like Arteta's given up, which is not a good sign for Arsenal. But yeah, they've got other fishes to fry this week. So, but yeah, it was decent. It was okay. Nothing spectacular. Great to see McNeil back on the pitch as well. Patterson getting a start at right back. Was it left? I think it was left back, which is a bit weird. I don't really like when a player goes on the other side who haven't, you know, that means it's kind of obvious they're just going to keep cutting in. But as a Premier League footballer, I think you should know how to use both feet. I really do. I think it's poor that they don't practice enough. It's just different. The days are different, aren't they? But you should, you know, that would help a lot if you're two-footed, you know what I mean, and you practice. But they're all too busy on the video games now and making money and doing other ventures outside of football. So it is what it is. But yeah, good to see Patterson play. I don't think he's got much of a future here, to be honest. Unless Moyes sees something in him, I don't know. There's loads of contract situations we're going to get into another video, but and the future of us. But yeah, good points. It'd be nice to see us get a win. I wouldn't mind beating City. I think we've got next week, so it'll be good to get a win because we haven't won in about 6 or 7 games now. You know, normally you would moan about it, but we've picked up points. It's like 1 loss from 11 games now, or 1 loss from 10. You know, in comparison to other teams who might look like that it's quite poor that we haven't won in that many games. For Everton, it's actually decent, and you know, we're not losing all the time, we're not conceding tons of goals, so it's different, it's better, it's positive, you could say. So and we're competitive again, which is great to see. But yeah, good point. We move on and got City next, and we will just see from there, because it's very weird for me not to be stressed towards the end of the season. It feels really nice to just relax and take whatever's coming to us. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all for the next video.